Well, good evening from the sunny but somewhat blustery Townsend, Montana, home to 2,200. And, well, I don't know how many are after the 200, but then there's Kathy and me, so there's two more after that. Loving our little town. It's a great little place. People are really kind and nice, and it's a great place to live. And I was talking to some folks because I do a lot of work, obviously, there in Oregon, and they were saying, "Oh, we wish we were there." I said, "Well, I'm sorry you can't be there. We got a great show for you tonight, sponsored by Chris Dental Family Dentistry, New Leaf Hyperbarics and Wellness Center. We've also got Alvord Taylor, Elements Health Club. We're going to visit in just a second. We're going to go down to Coos Bay, Charleston, to visit with Bait and Tackle Rob, talk with him what's going on there. I got an interview with a economist. He's a financial planner, and he's talking about the recession and what's coming up and what's going on. So tonight's just a little 2 minutes clip to get you warmed up for Monday. We have a whole show just dedicated to that topic. We're also going to have a great interview a little bit later in the show with the sweetest couple, Peggy and John. They've been married 37 years. Both of them live with disabilities. They found each other at Alvord Taylor. Alvord Taylor is one of our sponsors. And it's like the sweetest interview. And I think it'll just be a really nice break from all the bullshit you get on here. And then Kim Stark is going to be joining us via recorded tape. She's in Vegas with her kids. Probably the first time she's ever been sober in Vegas. But she's showing all the kind of cool things. They went to a magic show today, and she called up the PR people before the show, and they let her do an interview with the magician. And she said it was the funniest thing. Her dad laughed more than her kids did. So she's going to be interviewing him. So we got all that going. Let's get the open and get to Rob, because it's blustery in Coos Bay.
Who puts up with this? That's what I don't understand.
Bring the lion out. Bring the lion.
Tonight on our show, we're going to have...
Hey guys, don't you think it's kind of fun that you get to comment on the news?
There's a cost. Oh yeah, there's a cost. People come after you.
I think that's why this is so much fun, is because...
I'll see you at 5.
Well, Roberto, how
you doing, sir?
How the heck are you?
I am good. It's funny you talked about being blustery in Montana. I think we should do like daily updates and see who's windier. Right now I want to do another live bit from the bay or a lake or something, but we're about 17 to 20 mile an hour winds sustained with gusts up to 34 to 40. It's all over the place. I went out that the other day just for funsies, and it was fun to a degree. But I got beat up pretty good. So right now my boat is in the carport, and I'm sitting in here in the carport. This is as close as we get.
When you do that, do you have any neighbors that kind of look over and go, they probably are used to it, but is Rob sitting out in his boat talking to himself again?
That's one of the, I don't know, good things about modern technology, bad things, because a guy's always got this thing going on. He's always got. So you can't tell who's crazy or who's not.
I like that.
And it works in my favor a lot.
And Rob, here's what I think. I've been telling my wife, I'm losing my hearing. I mean, I can just tell I'm getting, older, and I'm losing my hearing. So I said, instead of getting those little fake ones, because then you look and go, oh yeah, he's deaf. Just give me an Apple, the big white things just coming out of my ears, and just because then I look kind of hip, and I'm doing my thing, and people are going, "Oh, Rick's listening to his music," and I'm going, "Hey, yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?" But make that your hearing aid.
Get the headphones. Do the whole. God, that's hip now. I remember we used to beat up kids. I mean, we'd have kids that wore the big headphones when we were younger, and now that's trending.
Yeah, so, it's cool. So what's going on in Coos Bay, Charleston this weekend that people
something I want to share? Well, not a lot, because the wind and the waves, it's kind of just put a damper on everything. Everybody, the first few days of the wind, people were still coming out and doing stuff. And after about day 5, everyone's saying, done, just done with it. I don't want to go outside. The streets are bare. It's enough. It's supposed to subside Sunday, Monday. So hopefully, but speaking of wind and waves and being in a boat, even though I'm just in a carport, I got some names here I want to talk about. We had an incident, not we, but in Bandon this past week, where a recreational vessel was out. They were crabbing and fishing and doing some stuff in the bay. They got hit by a sneaker wave. It was a 12-foot wave, they estimate. And ass over tea kettle, they were upside down and kind of more or less trapped in the boat. From what I heard, it sounds like not a lot of folks are wearing life vests. And that's hugely, I am one of the biggest proponents of wearing a life vest. I mean, sometimes that's wear it around town and people leave me alone that way, but you never know when a tsunami's coming. If you're on the water, the whole thing is, and I got a buddy that he's terrible for it. He's terrible for it. And we constantly fight over it all the time. And his whole mentality is, yeah, I've got it over here. That's it. Right. Because can I say a bad word?
You can.
Okay, because when shit happens and your head bashes on a rock and your brains are leaking out, your boat's upside down, you're gonna have the wherewithal to put your life vest on. Frickin' put it on first. That's my whole thing. I wear mine all the time. If I'm in like 5 feet of water, we're in a little river, maybe I won't, but anything else, and it's not this one. I've got a better one that fits better. The kids have them on before they even go near the dock. They've got them on. My better half has them on. It is bigly. It's bigly important to wear your PFD.
Bigly.
Bigly. Isn't that President Trump said? I think President Trump said it. I'm trying to bring back Bigly.
Just so you know, any place but the South, I don't think that's a word.
No, it's not. That's a DC word. We don't use that. I mean, we have some euphemisms and things, but Bigly was one that President Trump brought, and I'm just trying to bring back Bigly. I don't want Bigly and nuclear. President Bush gave us nuclear. President Trump gave us Bigly, and I'm not letting those go. But the name. So the fellow that went in the water is a local fellow. His name is Shane Brown from North Bend that went in the water. He and 3 other guys, and then a guy named Ramey Shan out of Roseburg took off to the scene in his boat, and with other people helped rescue the people. So this Ramey guy is like a hero, as well as it sounds like a charter boat, a charter vessel got involved as well. People are great on. If something bad happens on the water, all but the most bastardly cowards will actually run to the danger center and help people out. And that's what happened here. And these men are alive right now today because of good Samaritans like Ramey and others.
Well, and on the life vest, I think what a lot of people don't understand, especially when they come from other states besides Oregon, like California or somewhere where there's water, when you fall in the ocean.
I thought California was another country. Is that just another state? Are they attached to us somehow?
It's really not part of America. But and down there you can't afford a life vest because you're paying $9 a gallon for gas. But when you fall in the water in Oregon, you don't have long your body starts shutting down fast because that water is damn cold.
Quick story about that. When I first moved here, I had my 3 mil, 5 mil wetsuit for Gulf Coast stuff, good for everything, 70 degrees. If that water got down to 75 degrees, I'd still be somewhat comfortable. Well, I moved here and it's July and people are saying stuff like the hot water's here. So to me, hot water is 90 degrees. You go bass fishing in 90-degree water. The hot water's here. Cool. So I go swimming in Sunset Bay. I put on my 3 mil, 5 mil wetsuit. It's more like 3 mil wetsuit, but a couple spots are 5 mil. I don't put on my hood. I don't put on my gloves. It's the hot waters here. So I'm going to go do some just like free dive sort of stuff and look around, see hit that water. Man, that's cold. That's weird. It must be an artesian well. It must be just like a natural flow coming in. It'll get warmer the deeper and further I go. Nay, my friend. That is in fact the opposite. So I'm out there and I'm starting to like do the because it's that cold. It's literally taking my breath away. So I fight back to shore. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And it turns out to locals, hot water means like 59 degrees. Yeah.
Well, and you discover really quickly when you get in water that how small a man can be.
I don't want to. She lies. She's a liar.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, this water will take your breath away and keep it and hold it, never give it back to you.
Hey, my man, thank you for joining us. If you're going out fishing, Charleston is the best place to go out when the wind isn't going on.
The wind. 2 more days. 2 more days of wind, or how many more years in this presidential cycle? Oh, sorry. Hot air.
That's a different topic, but you know what? You can go there if you want to too. It's my show.
Thank you, my friend.
Hey, I'll see you later. See you, Ron.
Always a pleasure. Take care, everybody. God bless America.
All right, that's Rob, Bait and Tackle. If you're down in Charleston, stop by and see him. Also has a radio show down there. Very interesting guy. Hey, let's check in with another interesting guy. Matt Mccarl is one of our sponsors, and he's with New Leaf Hyperbaric and Wellness Center. And Matt has some awesome testimonials of people that he's helped through hyperbaric treatment.
Matt Mccarl with New Leaf Hyperbarics and Wellness, and today we're sharing another testimonial from one of our clients. This gentleman was actually going out to meet his mail lady, tripped, fell, and landed on the sidewalk, mainly on his face. As you can see, he has 2 big black eyes, 6 stitches, everything that goes along with doing that on the sidewalk. So that was on Tuesday. He came in the very next day, did a treatment, and then we followed that up with 6 more treatments, pretty much back to back. So the very next day was Thursday after his first treatment. That's what he looked like before going in for his second treatment, and then a week later before his 7th, he was pretty much fully healed up. A lot of folks noticed that he didn't get those crazy raccoon eyes like a lot of other people get when they have a damage to their face like that. Plus, his stitches came out really quickly, like in less than a week. If you would like to know more information, please feel free to give us a call at 541-636-3278. You can also look us up online at newleafeugene.com, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Have a great day, everyone.
And if you haven't tried light therapy, he does that too. I love it. It's like the best thing for after a workout. If you're just having, sleeping issues, that kind of stuff, it's really, really good. Let's check in also. Kim Stark is in Las Vegas with her children. Her dad lives down there, and she's hanging out and finding some really cool things. She went to a magician show just about an hour ago. But beforehand, she interviewed the magician and has this story for us.
Hey Rick, okay, so as you know, we're in Vegas. I brought the kids here on Tuesday to visit the folks, and I have never been to Vegas as a mom before, well, with the kids. So I didn't know how many family-friendly activities there were, and we have been finding them. It's super fun. So on Tuesday, we went to the nice, super fun show with all the lights and the magic and everything. It's called Mystere, and they loved that. And then yesterday, we went to see the dolphins. They actually got to touch the dolphins and get up close with those. So we spent a couple hours watching the dolphins play, which was super fun. And then today, I'm so excited. The kids are super into magic. And so we found a fun show that we're super excited about, but I have a surprise for you because we actually have the magician himself joining me. So he met us before the show. And thank you, Matt, for coming. This
Hi.
is Matt King, everybody. Okay,
Howdy.
so I'm so excited. The kids are super into magic right now. They're 8. So I need you to tell me, I don't know, what can we expect, I guess?
It's going to be pretty filthy.
Okay, perfect for the kids, right?
Yeah. It's not a kid show, but it's designed for families, and so hopefully the 8 is like the perfect to me.
Yeah.
8, I'm really proud of that actually. That 8-year-olds, 88-year-olds, and even more difficult 18-year-olds.
Okay, yes.
That's the hardest one, and I feel like it's appealing for all those people. And so it's a sleight of hand magic show. It's not like a big production like Mystere that you saw.
Yeah.
I'm really the only person on stage.
Yeah.
It's not like big box tricks. It's me doing, all the magic is accomplished by me.
It's all done by
not
you.
a box or a prop.
You're a one-man show.
Pretty much a one-man show. There are a couple of animals.
Oh, the best part. I'm so excited about the animals. Okay, tell me how long you've been doing this for.
I've been here at Excalibur only a year, but I've been had my own show in Las Vegas for 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a long running
That's a
show.
long time.
Tell me, what do you think it is? I mean, you're by yourself. How do you keep going and entertain the people just as a one-man band? That's gotta be tricky.
There's a lot of audience participation,
Okay.
and so every day, literally every show is different. I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of people on stage with me, and people are, as you know, unpredictable, and and I leave a lot of room for that to happen.
Yeah.
So you'll see. I mean, it's weird doing this interview if you haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
You'd have more questions maybe. But
Tomorrow we'll be talking more about it after
I
the
hope
show.
so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mhm.
I hope in a positive light.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Okay, you might get some questions like, do you ever come to Oregon or Montana? We have viewers from all over. Do you travel at all?
I travel some,
Yeah.
but I'm here like 48 weeks a year.
Okay,
So
gotta
5
come to
days a
Vegas.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mostly here. I do a few small performing arts centers around the country.
Okay.
But I haven't actually in 3 years.
Okay.
So
Just been here.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I mean, I haven't worked. I was off work for like 18 months, like a lot of people.
Oh, right. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. You're on the comeback. I love this. I love this costume too.
Oh well, there's more to it, but you don't get the whole thing down.
I'm excited. Do you want to show us? You're not going to show us a trick, are you? Yep, we have to come to the show.
You got to come to the
Okay.
show.
Okay, we're excited. All right, so I'm gonna leave you hanging. Tomorrow I'm gonna show you some clips and we'll show you some fun stuff of what he does. Okay.
Isn't she great? So Kim goes on vacation and she still does her job. I love that about her. She's awesome. Let's sit down. I sat down the other day with Dr. Michael Bratland, and he had so many great things to say. We had a really cool conversation. He's also one of our sponsors. And so I want you to listen to this.
It's never good to have too far to the right and too far to the left. I think it's always and that's why, like, the Betsy Johnson, I'm paid for one of her boards to be up. I don't believe in everything everything that she has voted on, but I think she's a good-hearted person, and she believes that she can work with Republicans and Democrats, and I think that's what we need more of: people that are willing to work, actually, to be in power, and not just go extreme to the right or extreme to the left, but somebody that's willing to kind of work with everybody, and she is. That's why I like her.
Well, I think she loves Oregon, and she doesn't want to be governor. She wants to lead the state, and that's a big difference. There's a lot of people who want to be governor. Governor Brown.
And I'm going to say this too, Rick. Sorry, I don't know a lot about the Republican candidate, and I probably I'll know more later on. But right now, I really do like Betsy Johnson. She's just a good-hearted person that is sincere and wants to see less crime, wants to see less homeless. She wants to take care of the homeless problem, and she believes in gun rights, and so I think she's a good person.
And so is Dr. Bratland. So sat down this afternoon with a guy named Andreas Johnson. He's a financial planner, and I just wanted to know, where is this all coming from? This talk of recession. How did we get here? And on Monday, we're going to have the entire interview on the show. I'm going to give you a clip right now, just kind of a little teaser of what's coming up. But for those of you who are regulars and you're on here right now, you can just go to rickdancer.com. I've already posted it on there. It's live that you can look at it. You can go watch it. It's about 35 minutes, but it's really a different perspective. And it was super interesting. And here's a little bit of what he had to say today.
In an official recession by the government, we have to have 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. So we've had one. A lot of that was inflation-related items that caused us to go negative. So we're just wrapping up. We're about a week away from the second quarter being wrapped up, which means sometime in July, August, our preliminary GDP data comes out, which will tell us whether we're in a recession or not. Now, for people in the equity markets, all that does is basically set a moment in time for you for looking at the averages. If we are in a recession, it's going to be all over the media. Everyone's going to be talking about it. People are going to start liquidating their assets because they're getting nervous. And I'll first off say you shouldn't do that. The history will tell you that's not a good thing to do, but it's going to cause a lot of stir, and the media is going to feed into that, right? Recession here, recession there. So it's going to spook a lot of people. But if we are in a recession, you're in the history of the market, your typical recession lasts about 18 months. And if we are in a recession, we're already 7 months into it. So statistically, we could be out of this in a year, give or take, right? You had 2008, which was about, I think, 19, 20 months. And you had the tech bubble, which was, right around that time. So 18 months. The good news with the stock market is the stock market started going down in January because it anticipated a potential recession because of, what was going on with the economy, the Fed raising interest rates, all of those. So it's already gone down in anticipation of. That's what's going on in the market right now. So it will move up in anticipation of the market recovering. So it will usually move up a quarter or two ahead of time. So if we are in a recession right now, it's plausible to say that the market will start its ascent sometime next year. Could be 2024, but sometime next year.
Good evening from the News Radio, 1120 AM and 93.7 FM KPNW studios. I'm Bill Lundun, co-host of the Wake Up Call on KPNW 6 AM to 9, Monday through Fridays. streaming at kpnw.com. And the hat implies I'm having a bad hair day, but on the upside, yeah, right there. All right, here's a look at a few of the stories that we're following. Well, Oregon's Attorney General, Ellen Rosenblum, issued an announcement supporting a national red flag law, stating today, as Oregon's Attorney General, I'm committed to keeping guns out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them. To keep our community safe, we need to make better use of our red flag law, get rid of untraceable so-called ghost guns, and close loopholes in our existing gun laws. Now, this comes as the U.S. Senate just voted to advance a national red flag law. The 80-page bill was released late Tuesday night. It includes expanded background checks for gun buyers under 21, provides grants for states that implement their own red flag laws, and also offers additional funding for both school safety measures and mental health services. It creates penalties for straw purchases of firearms, requires more gun sellers to register as federally licensed firearms dealers, and closes the so-called boyfriend loophole by prohibiting gun access for people convicted of domestic abuse against an intimate partner. Now, the question is, will all Republicans go along with it? Well, not in the House. House GOP leaders said today they're going to formally whip against the bipartisan legislative package and requested that their members vote no if it passes the Senate. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Minority Whip Steve Scalise conveyed their opposition to the measure negotiated in the Senate during a closed-door meeting with their GOP colleagues on Capitol Hill. That said, there's about 10 to 15 House Republicans that will defect and vote in favor of the bill, and even if all Republicans voted against it, it would still pass as long as a majority of Republicans voted for it. So prospective home buyers are rapidly being pushed out of the housing markets, largely by mortgage interest rates that have doubled in the past 6 months. Numbers crunched by the Oregon Office of an Economic Analysis showed that a surging mortgage rate and rapidly increasing home values have made homes essentially unaffordable for a growing chunk of the population. Josh Lerner, a state economist, estimated that about 168,000 Portland metro households have been priced out of the market just since December. And in other cities like Salem, Eugene, Bend, and Medford, another 69,000 households have been pushed out of the market in the same period. Since the end of 2021, 30-year mortgage rates have climbed from 3% to now over 6%. Combined with price increases, Lerner wrote, the cost of mortgage payments has increased 40 to 50% in just the past few months. As a result, less than 1 in 5 people in Portland can now afford to buy a home. In Eugene, Medford, and Salem, it's a comparable number. In Bend, it's even worse. 1 in 10 individuals or couples can actually afford to buy a home. Well, are you wondering what the worst run city in the U.S. is? At least in terms of 2022. Congratulations, nation's capital. According to Wallet Hub, you suck the most. They compared the operating efficiency of 150 of the largest cities in the nation, along with 38 quality of services metrics, which were measured against the city's budget, to figure out which U.S. cities were managed the best and the worst. Well, Washington, D.C. ranked in the very bottom in a number of categories, including the amount of outstanding debt per capita and high school graduation rates. The outstanding debt per capita in the city is 36 times higher than it is in the nation's best-run city at $22,178. San Francisco, New York, Chattanooga, and Cleveland carried the remaining 4 spots on the list of America's top 5 worst-run cities. Now, as far as best-run cities, well, in the top 20, at least, one Oregon city popped in at number 18. That was Salem. Eugene was number 51. Portland was number 67. And if you're wondering the best run city, Nampa, Idaho? Boise came in at number 2. COVID-19, monkeypox, and now polio? Yep. Traces of polio virus have been found during a routine sewage inspection in London, leading the UK Health Authority Agency to declare a national incident. Health officials are now concerned about the community spread of the virus after samples were collected from the Beckton sewage treatment works in London, but they're stressing that they think that the risk to the public is extremely low. Several closely related polio viruses were found in sewage samples taken between February and May, and it's continued to evolve. And it's now classified as a vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2. And officials believe that it's probably being spread between linked individuals in Northeast London, probably extended family members, and that those people are now shedding the type 2 poliovirus strain in their... It's so embarrassing to say poo. Anyway, they're urgently investigating this. Now, if you're discerning, you're probably asking, what the hell is vaccine-derived poliovirus? I'm glad you asked. A vaccine-derived poliovirus is a strain of the weakened poliovirus that was initially included in the oral polio vaccine that's mutated over time and now behaves more like a wild or naturally occurring virus. That means it's spread more easily to people who are unvaccinated against polio or who come in contact with the stool or respiratory secretions like from a sneeze of an infected individual. The viruses cause illness, including paralysis. The uptake? Don't be playing with other people's stools. Knock it off. I'm telling you right now, just stop that. Stop. Stop. Just stop. Okay, so Oregon actually ranks fairly highly, according to a new report out from the Commonwealth Fund. It's a 100-year-old foundation that advocates for better health policy, and Oregon scored 14th out of 50 states in the District of Columbia for overall health, judged by a whole variety of measures, including healthcare services provided and avoided and residents' general health. So we're in the top third of the country. And while that's okay, there's still some areas where Oregon really blows. On the good side, Oregon ranks first for 2 measures of hospital use, admissions of patients 18 to 64 with employer insurance for ambulatory care, and avoidable ER visits by the same group. We're about 10th for adult obesity, not so good, 27th for children overweight or obese. Although that problem has gotten worse, Oregon went from 22% of children with obesity 4 years ago up now to about 32%. And the bad, we are 39th in the nation for suicides per 100,000. We're 43rd for adults with mental illnesses reporting unmet needs, and we're 44th for alcohol-related deaths per 100,000. We're number 44. We're number 44. And quit playing with poo. This look at your news brought to you by Chris Dental. And now it's time for a big rock and roll of reel with Rick.
The smartest thing Bill's ever said. Don't play with poo. It'll get all over you. And afterwards it stinks. I know from experience, I guess. Tomorrow, Elements Health Club is having a special event. So I got this really short video I want to show you to tell you about it. If you have kids or family, you're looking for a place to work out, here's a really great idea. And then we have an interview coming up in just a second. We got more. Hang on.
Event this week coming up on Friday from 4 to 6. We're having some of the star football players, Chase Cota, Marco, and they're going to be doing a meet and greet with us there. We're going to have some face painting, hopefully an ice cream truck and a Mexican food truck. The search and rescue is going to be coming. They're bringing a boat and they're going to be handing out whistles and letting the kids climb up and around. Location. So this is going to be at the 170 Oakway Road, the Oakway location. And then next week, we're having the same football players are going to be putting on a football camp from 12 to 4:30 at Cal Young Middle School for kiddos between the ages of 2nd grade and 8th grade. And admission is $50. Both of these events are going to be fundraisers for the Bags of Love.
So if you want more information, you can just notify the gyms. They can tell you how to sign up for that. The thing tomorrow night, you don't have to sign up for it. You can just show up. But for the football camp, just give them a call and find out more. Alvord Taylor is one of our sponsors, and their theme is endless possibilities. And they make that possible for people with different abilities. So what we're trying to do every month is introduce you to another person with a different ability so that this becomes normal. So you start to understand the way they speak, what they do, and they have charming, wonderful stories. So today we have this couple, John and Peggy, his wife, and just sit back, and this is what you don't normally find. This is what you don't normally find on social media, is people like this. And joining us is John and Peggy Devereaux. They are part of the Alvord Taylor gang.
Yes.
How long have you guys been with Alvord Taylor, Peggy?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Since the early 80s?
In the 80s.
So in the early 80s. And you guys got married in the early 80s too, didn't you?
We got married that church near the Oak.
Christ United Methodist.
United Methodist.
The United Methodist Church. So how did you guys meet?
Through Alvord Taylor's place.
Okay.
House.
Alvord Taylor's house.
Yeah, it used to be in Springfield.
No, it was off of 18 and
Alder Street. Yeah.
So you guys got married, and you've been living with Alvord Taylor together as a married couple for 37 years.
We went out on a date first, and then we got married.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like about John?
I love it. He's been a good husband to her, and used to work. I retired. I worked at Lone Oak Assisted Living, dishwasher.
Okay.
And I retired.
And Peggy, what about you? What about you, Peg?
No, I'm retired.
Okay. So you told me you were going to go on vacation. You got a vacation coming up. Tell me what's going on. I want to know.
Yeah, it's July the 12th, and we're going to see my brother-in-law in Tacoma.
In Tacoma?
In Tacoma.
So, Peggy, how does Alvord Taylor, the organization, how do they help you and John live your life the way you want to live your life?
Takes us different places.
You know, like if we have a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, if we got a doctor's appointment, and then if we go, if we got a doctor's appointment, they'll take us.
Now, do you guys live in your own apartment or home?
Yes, we do live in our own apartment.
Woodwood.
So they Alvord Taylor just kind of comes in and helps you do things that you can't maybe get.
Yeah. With our medication and
okay.
Take us to any doctor appointments.
Why don't you fix that tube?
So
we
Peggy,
turned it off so you could hear better. We'll turn it back on in a minute.
It's fine.
So Peggy, what do people not understand about you and John, like the general public, because you have different abilities than other people?
Oh, and a bit question. Ooh, I don't know that one.
Is that a hard question?
Yeah, Josh would know.
Well, when you're out and about and stuff, do they understand that you guys are perfectly able to live your life the way you want to live your life?
Yes.
So, John, what do you like about this Peggy lady?
I don't know.
Did you hear? What do you like about Peggy?
I love her very much. She's been a good wife to me, and helps me with meals and all that.
And Peggy, what do you love about John?
Oh, I love him. He's really nice.
So, are you guys happy?
Yes,
Yes.
we're happy.
So you know that Alvord Taylor has this tagline. You know, this what they say is they provide endless possibilities for people that they work with. How does that affect you guys? Have you had endless possibilities because they come in and help you? You couldn't live your life the same way that you do without their assistance, right?
Yes.
Without Josh, you couldn't travel.
We couldn't do anything without Josh.
Well, you could do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Josh takes us to Wendy's,
Thrift shopping.
grocery shopping, sometimes shopping.
Hawaii. Yeah, you've
So he makes it possible.
Yeah, we went to Hawaii 3 times.
What?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Honolulu.
And how did Josh get you? Did he help you with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on an airplane.
It's fun.
It was fun.
So did Josh go with you?
Yes.
Okay,
Josh
so you know
does.
what? I kind of need to have Josh in this picture. Can you come around the front here?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
sure.
fun. Really fun.
Am I in here?
Yeah, but can you get so can you speak? I want you to speak up.
Okay,
So
can you hear me?
what is it about these two that you end up doing? You've done a lot of things with them. You know them really well.
Yeah. I mean, we worked together for maybe about 5 years. I don't really remember the year we started working together.
We got him January the 29th.
He remembers the day.
And what is so special about this couple for you?
Well, they are just honestly very nice and friendly and adventurous. They love getting out and doing things. The pandemic has put a slight damper on things. We're not going out quite as often as we used to, but pre-pandemic, we'd go to thrift shops every week. We'd go out to parks or go, get some food somewhere. They still, go to the movies, every couple weeks or so.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
And the traveling.
And then in July, they're having the Minions.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's July something. I can't remember.
July the 1st.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Josh,
they travel more than, most people that I know.
So Josh, what have you learned about yourself by working with Peggy and John?
What have I learned about myself? That's a good question. Knocking your books over. What have I learned about myself?
We like to drag you with us.
Yeah, I mean, when we do go on vacations, I find myself basically playing tour guide. We look up all kinds of different activities and give them the options, and they pick, what direction we're going to go. And that's pretty fun and rewarding. And I get, essentially to take a free vacation alongside them. Let's see, what have I learned about myself, though?
I would think, Josh, I'll just give you some hints is what I'm thinking. Is, because a lot of people think, well, what am I going to do? Well, you're working with two people who probably show you the world in a way that you've never really seen it before.
Sure.
And that has to be kind of priceless because you know how I have friends in the community with people with different abilities, and a friend of mine she experiences Down syndrome. And when I'm with her, everything's slower and my pace slows down because I have to kind of do this dance to understand I'm in this world right here and she's working in this world. And when the two collide, it's magic. Because it makes you kind of appreciate different things because the truth matters to people like John and Peggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, they see the best in people, and people tend to see the best in them. They're honestly some of the most accepting and friendly people that I know.
Right. That's what I'm looking for, buddy.
Yeah.
So Peggy and John, have a good time on your vacation.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing your story with our viewers and people out there. And what we're trying to do is get more people to understand what a great job it is for people like Josh to get to work with people like you, because there's a lot of people that don't find a lot of meaning in their jobs. And I think working with people like you, you'd find a lot of meaning in life. Yeah, that's what it's all about. What a great way to finish a show and a week with people like John and Peggy. What's an interesting thing about their different abilities is when I'm talking about slow, I don't mean slow in a less thinking mode, like some people take slow. I mean, literally, they take life, a lot of people in the disability community take life a lot slower, and to be around them calms you. And plus, I remember when I had cancer and I was doing some work with another organization with people with disabilities, and everybody that's so-called normal would just look over at me and not say too much. They knew I had cancer, but they didn't know what to say. And so they just said nothing. The first time I went to a meeting with a whole bunch of my friends with different abilities, they all came up and were crying and hugging me and saying, "Are you going to die? Are you really going to die?" And asking the questions that everybody really wants to know, but they're afraid to ask. They're not afraid to ask. And sometimes I think for people like me, when I was going through cancer, that was therapy, because I needed someone to ask those questions. And the only people that would were them. So there's no such thing as a mistake in this world. People matter, and they have value, and they bring great things and color and life to our community. So if you're someone who's tired of your job and tired of your life and you want to do something better, you should check out Alvord Taylor and see if it might be a fit for you. Maybe not for a long time, maybe for a long time, you never know. But put yourself out there, and you may discover something amazing about the world and about yourself. I'm Rick Dancer. We'll be back next week, Monday through Thursday, with more shows. Share this on your page if you would, so other people can see it. We really appreciate that. Have a great weekend. And 4th of July is coming up soon. I'll see you later. Good night.